Shalom, giving all praise unto Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Kwa Hakodash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. And honor you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. It's gonna be really a really quick hit. Just before I turn in for the night. This is just another example of why the earth needs new management. And we see many other oil leaks like this one, and this is just another thing to add to the list. And I'm going to quote a few scriptures, and we can read the title of this video and extrapolate what's happening out there. So, a major incident declared after oil leak from large onshore field in Dorset. That's out here within the UK. And the UK Security Agency in the South West has said members of the public should not swim. And obviously, the harbour until notice after oil leaked into the water and surrounding area. So, that's just another one. Okay, just another oil spill, just another thing that's going to be forgotten about in the next couple of days, and the next distraction is going to come about, and the cost is not going to be on the surface of it. People are going to think that the cost is not going to be paid, but the reality of the situation is that the cost is going to be indeed paid, man. The scripture talks about how that if Yahweh Shai didn't return sometime soon, there wasn't going to be any flesh left to save. So Yahweh Shai is going to return soon, man. The Most High is going to send His Son to return soon to deliver not only just us, right? But like I said, there wasn't going to be any flesh left to save. The fish, a brother did a video a couple of days ago about a whole bunch of fish beaching themselves. And again, that's just one of those things now. It's just a normal occurrence. That wasn't happening 200, 300, 400 years ago, unless it was a sign for the Most High Yahweh Shema Shai. And these are all signs. Now, there's a cause for it, there's a reason for it, which is obviously the management of Esau. But these are all signs coming from the Most High, telling you that this is the end time for Esau. That the change of rulership is coming. And so too we see many other examples of bad management. And the scripture says there wasn't going to be any flesh left to save. The trees was going to rejoice when Esau was taken down. And these birds, right, the birds like a relatively good indicator of how good a particular piece of land is doing in terms of its biodiversity, right? Because if you got a whole bunch of birds, then you got the things that the birds eat, like the the worms, and some birds eat fish, some birds eat whatever it may be, vegetation, whatever. It's birds are like a good indicator of a good biodiversity, right? Amongst other things. So the scripture talks about how the Most High promised these birds a great feast. So all them birds that die off, fall out the sky, or you seen the images in the past of the birds that was all, leak, got all kind of oil from the leak. They was drenched in it, so they couldn't fly, and therefore they died. And when I watched the documentary, some of that was falsified. I believe, I think there was one occurrence where it was falsified, but we know some instances that is true, because you got the oil leak. The birds still got to eat. Like the kingfisher, it fishes. I think that's freshwater. A freshwater bird. It fishes in the fresh water, so it's got to die through the water. But there's many birds that depend upon the water, and obviously if they get into the oil, they can't fly anymore. They die off. And the Most High promise is befitting, because the Most High promised these birds a great feast. Okay, because there ain't gonna be no flesh left to save if the Most High don't send His Son soon, man. So Yahweh Shai is gonna return soon, and these major so-called incidences, they won't be declared anymore. It's going to be a life. It's going to be a world teeming with life when Yahweh Shai returns. So again, like I said, it's just a quick little video before I turn in, and just a handful of things that was on my mind. With that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Shai Shai Kohakodash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone, and honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.